Developing a relationship with your creative self is a journey. It does not happen overnight, and there's a lot of judgment involved. Unplugged because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally Uncut because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Oh, the walking way of the human mind. A very close friend was rushed to the hospital yesterday for acting unusual. While at the hospital, he told doctors that his spouse was the one that was wrong. Her observations of him were misleading. Yet the spouse spoke of the incident as being extremely odd and abnormal. Who was right here? The world of medicine took all types of tests and nothing seemed to go wrong. He allowed everything to unfold to keep peace in the family. And yet for some reason, the wife and husband speak of two different experiences. Who was right? Was it a warning sign of something much bigger being drug into the picture? My mother had dementia. She did multiple odd things that became her walk and way of being normal. Are we falling witness? Are we falling witness to a mind starting to fade? Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. It's stuff like this that I learned from. The events of the world outside of this shell become reasons why I can become greater with my knowledge by not reacting, but studying what is taking place to prepare my own path for what may or will take place. Learning how to become an observer and an activator, being prepared for what can or will happen. This is The Daily Mess. Moving through the changes of life. I did some research on this. For men, it begins in the late 40s and early 50s, mood swings and irritability. Now, doctors say it can last up to 20 years. I started writing in 1994 at the age of 32. If I moved through male menopause, it was well documented. My changes are that of walls built by outsiders. Because of my age, I'm not being hired for positions I'm well qualified for. Nobody wants an old guy or a grandpa. Which makes me chuckle because my two grandchildren by way of marriage don't even call me that. They see me as that dude who's married to their biological grandmother. It was well written when I entered my 50s that my life would start to change in ways that I wouldn't be able to control. As I near 61, the walk in the world of business is now self-made. That moment, these years, it's a place of constant change because your body aches in ways that you can't really explain. One moment, your leg is feeling fine. The next moment, it's like, what the hell happened here? Your back, your head, your eyes. Oh, the eyes. You full vision of the world. And then you sit in a room and you stare at a wall. The change. I don't expect anybody who's 30 to understand. But what I want to do is I want to plant the seed for you to embrace where you're headed. I have never met anybody who sat me down and said, hey, I'm going to share a story with you. You're probably going to get married and you're going to have kids that are going to grow up a lot faster than you imagine. And they're going to have children who are going to grow up even faster. But you're not going to look at yourself as being a 61-year-old man or woman. You're going to still feel like that kid in high school. Your body's going to ache in ways that's going to tell you, slow down, but you don't want to. I want to be that guy that says, hey, look, write. Do something with your early years so that you have a place to go back to when you do have a faded moment. When your mind does go into an area that might be like my friend, who I think could be going through dementia, the very front stages of it. You are going to face a life that is going to have so many headlines from around the world that will infect your heart. You will be poisoned. But there's no medicine on this planet that will take you away from it. You can calm it by doing drugs, by doing alcohol, by doing the internet. But it's still going to be there. And when you realize, oh, hell, I'm not getting that time back, how am I going to deal with this hangover? Learning that you're going to grow into a shape that you can't control. If you're lucky enough, you'll make it to 61. If you are lucky enough. I had a heart attack at the age of 47. It changed my life. It changed my view. It changed the way that I walk. Because I don't want to stop. Suddenly the world of business was no longer important to my heart. It was to be with family and friends. But I know you don't understand this right now because you're not where I am. But there is somebody here that's telling you, prepare. I say it starts with writing. Just jot down a note, because there's no greater feeling than going back to those years that went by so fast, but you left yourself a letter. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.